Palmistry reading of 44-year-old person. We would be reading his particular hand. Before I start my video, I would request you to press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update. You can get a paid reading from me. You can call me or you can email me. These are the phone number and the email that are mentioned out here. Now we straight away head to this particular hand image that we have. We would be first taking a look at the right hand. And the right hand is basically the active hand, right hand, and left hand is the passive hand. But we do not ignore the left hand. So we are going to take into account both the hands, but give more importance to the right hand, the active hand. It is also so that both hands are not completely different in most people cases. In very few people cases, they could be completely different. So first we take a look at the right hand. Now on the right hand, the first impression that we have is that the hand is roughly medium built. Um, uh, there are few categories of hands, and a very strong kind of a hand, medium kind of a hand, and a very weak kind of a hand. Weak kind of a hands do not basically bring result because there's weakness in all spheres of your life. A very strong structured hand, that means the strong bone structure and the and padding over the mounts and all. It would make the area to the palm to be a strong means automatically better hold over people, money and resources. But this is somewhere in the middle, I would say, somewhere in the middle. So this is one way of categorizing hands. The other thing is that the headline and the lifeline, both these lines have got a big gap in the middle. Such people are extremely rash by nature, outgoing by nature, and they never miss out on opportunities. This is the basic thing regarding their personality. They would just, even if the opportunity is really far away, still they would somehow give that particular extra effort and try it out. They basically act first and then think. So this is basically it is their whole personality is this, and this has been there in the past, present, and future. It's going to remain the same, something like this. The other aspect is basically this is the headline. This is the headline. So few lines from the Mount of Jupiter. This is the Mount of Jupiter. They are rising from the Mount of Jupiter and joining in into the headline. These are very important lines, although they are joining at a very early age in one's life. Let's say somewhere before the age of 17, 18. But their significance remains throughout their life. All throughout their life, it's going to remain the same. So what it basically does, these lines, what basically it does is that Jupiter, this is the area of Jupiter. Jupiter is for administration, religion, politics, and honor. So the lines that join into the lines that join into out here, the main headline, this basically signifies that the person is seeking honor, the person is seeking higher positions. I was talking about the headline, and there are backward lines or lines originating on the Mount of Jupiter joining into the main headline. It means that the person is getting the person's mind, because this is the mind line, the person's mind is getting guided by Jupiter. Jupiter being a big planet means growth, expansion, ambition in one's life, honor in one's life, and this area is also for spirituality as well. So these lines are considered to be extremely important lines. Many people, some people, they are in basically government service. So for them, it's a good sign. Some people are at a very high position. Some people are at a very high position. Let's say in religion matters also. So this basically gives higher position, honor every time. So this is one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at the lifeline, you would notice this is the lifeline, and there are again two lines kind of pointing from the Mount of Jupiter and joining into the main line of life. Even these are considered to be good. It means that the person rises up to a higher position in the one's life in the earlier period itself. It's not in the later period, but earlier period, those things were there, and the person kind of reaches to a higher position. So this is regarding the lifeline and the headline in the initial phase of one's life. Let's take the heart line. This is basically the heart line. and there's a break out here. There's a break just under the finger of sun. This is the finger of sun, and it's a break is somewhere out here. So break is not generally considered to be good. What it does is that it could bring about some emotional breakdown. It could bring about some emotional break in one's life. It can be from any person, and the lines that are kind of, this is the heart line, so the lines that are kind of leaning downwards towards the headline, this is a little bit negative, because what it basically does is that it kind of strains one heart. Imagine this is the heart, and there are branches hanging onto the heart. So these branches are something, branches hanging onto the physical heart, and they also have got weight also. Weight, how we determine how much weight it is? The the stronger the line, stronger the branch moving downwards, the more the strain. A very small kind of a branch would give lesser strain. So stronger branches bring in more anxiety, stress, all these kind of things. And these branches also, they are kind of distractions. So distractions, it's best to avoid distractions in our life if we have to reach up to a higher position. And if the person is basically not able to commit himself, it could be to a relationship, or it can be to one's work. So it can be either way. It's not only limited to your personal life, because generally people think that the heartline would be telling only regarding their personal life, their love life. I basically try to associate one's profession also from the heartline. The if the line was very simple, kind something like this, simple, that would have basically said 100% the person is committed without these branches that we are talking about. That would be the best kind of sign the person is totally committed. Practices detachment. Detachment is what Bhagavad Gita says, that being in the moment without having expectation of the outcome. This is what, if the line was simple. But it's not as bad as I'm explaining to you. It's just for explanation purpose I'm telling you. Now, another part is that the heart line is quite short also. Uh, and it's kind of ending under the Mount of Saturn. In a way, it is good because Saturn is basically for money. Saturn is for money management. Saturn is basically for wisdom. Saturn is for, when we are talking about good qualities, there are also bad qualities to Saturn as well. So whenever I say wisdom, the opposite is unwise decisions. So it can go both ways. It's not necessarily it can go only one way, both ways as well. So the heart line that ends under the Mount of Saturn means that the person is targeting towards money. So a person who targets towards money, the chances of that particular person making good amount of money increases in their life. You have to look at the heart inclination. What is the heart inclined towards? What is the heart targeting towards? So out here the person is targeting towards money, so the chances brighten up regarding the money part in his life. So in money terms, it is good. Now we take a look at the other lines as well regarding the money line, the sun line, the money line, the sun line, and the Mercury line. See, too much of importance is given to the money line regarding money. See, people think that money line would tell everything regarding the money. It is not like that. Money line does have its importance, but it doesn't mean that it can tell 100% about how much money we are going to be making in our life. It is a combination of each and every aspect on one's palm that basically tells about the money. I'll just go back to my reading, whatever I have told you. These upward lines takes a person to a higher position. So higher position automatically means the person is likely to make more money. The person is growth oriented, because Jupiter is for growth and expansion. So these qualities come. They are also on the headline as well as the lifeline. So both cases it is here. So these are considered to be good. So it's not one line, that is only one line. This only one line is not talking about the money. Even the heart line can talk about the money. See, some people might have a long kind of a heart line. It would mean very idealistic person. If it reaches the first finger, that's not a good sign. But in this case, it's purely and purely the Saturn mount. And Saturn mount is also for outer appearances, because Saturn is all about money. So money is all everything that is outside. It means that the person wants a beautiful partner, a rich partner. All these kind of things would be there in his life. This is one part. Now we talk about a very important line. The most important area that I consider to be for success is the area of Mercury. Now the Mercury Mount, this is basically the Mercury Mount, and this is the Mercury finger that is there. Mercury is the smallest planet, so it is basically Mercury is the smallest planet, so it has the smallest finger. So we are looking at the Mercury planet, and we find that there are perpendicular lines under the Mount of Mercury. It's a perfect kind of an indication for success. A very simple kind of a line brings success. And this line should be deep and clear. And we find that the line is quite deep and clear. A deep and clear line basically signifies that the person is sharpening their skill. A strong line means sharpening the skills. A weaker line, let's just draw a very weak kind of a line. Something like this. This line basically, this is a comparatively weaker line. Adjacent to the main strong line. Basically, strong line means strong set of skills, weak line means weak set of skills. So it's a combination of weak line as well as strong lines. They are comparatively two strong lines. One is much more stronger compared to the even this particular line. So it's not necessary that the person should have many lines over this particular area. Even just a single kind of a simple line would 100% guarantee success. It is basically signifying that the person is going to be full of skills, and this is also the area of your calculations and the communication part. And calculation and communication part is something like statistics, economics, mathematics. It is also the area of engineering. It is also the area of law, how good we are able to draft letters. So this is what is required for success. And this is also the area of your networking. So a person who has a simple area of Mount of Mercury, the chances are that the person would be able to network himself in a good way and would be able to communicate himself in an effective way. Effectiveness in your communication and your calculations. People who have crisscrossing lines out here would mean miscalculation and miscommunication, but we do not find those kind of negative indications. We only find simple lines out here. So this is one of the best lines that we see on this particular palm, and this is not therefore only now. It was there in the past, present, and it's going to remain in the future as well. So this way it is. Now we take a look at the sun line. See the sun line, the timings. Just one more line. Even this is basically the Mercury line, I would say. And there's a money triangle like formation that is forming. It's a combination of the money line. This is the money. Money means money. A Mercury line means the line of skill. And this is basically your headline, your thought process line. So a triangle is formed, although there's a break out here. If there was no break, I would have considered it to be a much better sign. And there are few inward, like these lines can be seen out here somewhere in the middle. It's better to have a empty mount of empty triangle, money triangle. This is called the money triangle. So empty money triangles are better than too many lines under in this particular area. So it's better to have lesser lines over there. Now we move to the sun line. I'm just going to draw this line. It's not perfect like this, but I'm just drawing it. And this is the headline, and this is basically the line of heart. So this portion of the line of sun is basically indicative of before the age of 35. This portion is 35 to 53, and this portion is after the age of 53. Now we find that this portion of the line of sun is having a wave-like formation. It's not perfect. So it basically, and it's very dim also. It's not a very clear kind of a line. Not a clear kind of a line means that in this particular person's life there would have been clouds. For explanation purpose, I'm just explaining that the person is in a room and there are clouds around him, and the person wants to go out of the room, the person is unable to go out of the room because the person doesn't find the door. So this is very important, that it is important that the person is able to find his door. And if the person is not able to find the door, it basically signifies that the person is unable to find what the person wants to do. Although we find a strong line of Mercury, this is perfect. These lines are perfect. But out here, it means a dim kind of a line would mean that some doubts are going to creep in, unable to find your way out. So those are the things basically. A weak sunline. The sunline, few other people are going to say that sunline is basically the name and fame line. Sunline is basically the luck line. I don't say that this is the luck line, nor do I say it is the name and fame line, but it is. But I don't completely disagree with it as well. But what it basically signifies is how much energies we are able to give to our work. So a strong line out here, you would notice that there is a stronger line after the age of 53. So it basically signifies that the chances are that the person would energize his work. A strong sun line basically signifies a strong, like the sun is shining brightly and there are no clouds in the sky. So what's going to happen is that lots of sunlight you can see on the earth. So in turn, the the trees and the plants on the earth, they are going to grow much faster because of the sunlight. So same goes with your work as well. When the lights are strong, when the line is strong, it basically signifies that you are energizing. You are energizing your work. So you would notice a very dim kind of a line. So in spite of having a dim line from the early age till the age of 53, we can't say with certainty that there is no success, because there are other good indications on the palm that I've already explained to you, which signifies success. So it's a combination of two things. If during this particular period the person would energize his work, things are going to become better, because sometimes people get good guidance from people. So in spite of having a very dim kind of a line, still the person kind of makes it good in their life. So this is what is basically represented. When the line of sun is good on the mount of sun, sometimes it doesn't mean only after the age of 53. It could mean also in the earlier period also the person can be successful. So this is one way of looking. And now we come back to the headline and few other areas of the palm. We are talking about this is the area of Mount of Mars, and this is the area of Mount of Venus. We don't find that these areas to be very extremely well padded. These are just normal kind. So this area is for energy, stamina and vitality, and this is the area of deep fire within us. So these are basically somewhere in the middle. I wouldn't say too good, I wouldn't say it is too bad. So uh, so this is one part. The other part is that you'd notice that although this area is not so okay, but there is a parallel line running to the main line of life. So this is considered to be good. This line is considered to be good. It brings in fighting spirit in the particular person. But there are few negative lines. These are horizontal kind of lines. These are a little bit negative. What they do is they create disturbances. And when they go and touch the money line, it touches the money line somewhere at the age of 34. That's when the money line breaks. So I'm just going to redraw the line. I'm just going to draw the money line out here. It breaks out here, and then basically new line basically develops, and that basically continues and reaches somewhere till the age of 53. Beyond that, they are comparatively weaker lines. So weaker lines do not necessarily mean no money, because there's a strong sunline. It basically compensates. So and apart from that, even the skill line. So skills is a thing that would give you success. So if the person has got skills, even if the person doesn't have any money line out here as such, it doesn't mean no money. It can mean unlimited possibilities as well. So this is the money line, this is the intersection, and you would notice a break out here somewhere at the age of 34, and the trouble line also coming and touching out here. So troubles somewhere at the age of 34, and this trouble could be of two or three kinds. The money line, when it breaks, what it does, it brings about it brings about losses or job loss or work loss or business loss in your work, and then it starts again. The other could be more responsibility falling onto this particular person's head after somewhere around the age of 34. That's when probably the main earning member, sometimes our father or any other uh, main member, their health or wealth gets deteriorated. So uh, more responsibility falls onto this particular person's head. When we find that the line is not so clear, it's at the same time you would also find that the headline is also not clear. So this portion is before the age of 35. So this portion could be around the age of 34. So mental agony, mental problems would have been there somewhere at this particular age, and it would have been for 2, 3, 4 years time. So this is one part. Now we just take a look at some other hand images as well, just for a brief moment. This image we have already seen. So this is basically the left hand. In the left hand also, we find in the initial period the sunline is good, and if this point is 35, this point is 53, so somewhere in the middle is 44, and so it somewhere till the age of from here till the age of 38, 39, things were good. Then there were changes, and then there are three lines out here on the Mount of Sun. So these are strong lines. So stronger lines are, I have already explained to you, those are good. Those are good indications for success. Strong lines under the amount of Mercury, also seen in the left hand, these are also signifying success because of skill. It is not luck, but this is skill. On the heart line, same indications, there are branches over it. So flirtatious nature, the person is getting distracted, the person is falling for temptations in his relationship or work. It could be any one of them, and getting distracted. So that's not a good sign to have. And these are carrying the extra baggage of past disappointments. So it's better to relieve ourselves from all those past disappointments. Only then things can become better. Same kind of upward line, backward lines, all line originating from the amount of Jupiter joining into the main headline. These are considered to be good. This basically signifies growth, expansion, high position, honor, everything. Then from the headline, you would notice that there's a upward kind of a line, branch. The upward lines always considered to be good, pointing towards the Mount of Mercury or any other finger. But there's a break also that you can see on the line of head somewhere out here under the Saturn mount. So Saturn has good qualities as well as bad qualities. The good qualities I've already explained to you: money management, wisdom, all these kind of things. But Saturn is a very slow moving planet. So Saturn brings in delays. Saturn also brings in sadness, and Saturn also brings in depression. So probably before the age of 35, these things could have been there because of the break on the line of head out here. So these are negative. Upward are always good, which means gains or some success, but then there's a break. So change in the thought process also comes somewhere during this particular age as well. And probably there is also a break somewhere out here also at the age of 35. But the person is safeguarded with this line of Mars that is running parallel to the lifeline, and this is running somewhere till the age of early mid 45, till the mid 45, 50. So the person has got protection line as well. This is the line of protection, the armor around this particular person. And I would just end my video out here. Rest reading I would be giving over the phone, and before I end my video, I would just repeat few things that I repeat in almost all my videos. That is, importance of Moneyline in terms of how much money we will make is just 15%. We can come to know about money from almost all aspects of our hand. This is the main question everybody has. That's the reason why I'm concentrating on this particular part. We can come to know about money from heartline, headline, life, sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, or any other line. So that upward line that I explained to you from the headline, even that can mean success. A saint once said, "You do not need to go to an astrologer or a palmist to know about your future because you already know your future. Present is the result of past. How will be my future? Future depends upon what you are doing in the present. What are we? We are product of our thoughts. So the thoughts that come to our mind is really important. Keep positive thoughts and keep good company. That's what matters the most, because even if you don't have the best of palm, but if you kind of are in the good company, so the negative aspects of your palm are going to get deleted and only the positive are going to work. And even if you have a very good palm and you are in the bad company, so what's going to happen? All the good qualities are going to get negated. So company matters the most. Thanks for watching this video. Bye. Take care. Press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update.